Sean Marks spent 12 years as a self-described journeyman player in the NBA and several more as an executive. The number of teams who picked him up over his career shows Marks' massive off-the-court value. Although the locker room presence term gets thrown around often, Marks' obvious smarts and knowledge of the game were shown by the fact that it wasn't just one franchise who valued his locker room and training presence, it was 6, with the Toronto Raptors, Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Hornets, and the Portland Trail Blazers all wanting Marks' input and guidance. With that said, his presence so far with the Nets is undeniable. He's continued to impress with his vision for the organization and the values he has brought to Brooklyn. When the Nets began their search for a new GM back in January, there were many potential candidates being considered for the job. Big names such as John Calipari and former Exec of the Year Brian Colangelo were among the potential hirees, but the team decided to go a different route by bringing on up-and-comer Sean Marks.
It's always flattering to know that somebody out there has seen something that they value and want to spend the time to sit down with you. And Mr. Prokhoff and the group here could have sat with anybody.
Marks began his basketball career at Cal Berkeley, where he played for 4 years and majored in political science. He claims his time there was key, as it allowed him to grow as a player and as an intellect.
Cal at that time had a pretty good basketball team with Jason Kidd and Lamont Murray, and academically it spoke for itself. So for me, to be able to get an education from there, that was really important for me. It was a very diverse school, and I thought that was going to be important for my growth just as a person.
He went on to be drafted 44th overall in the 1998 NBA draft by the New York Knicks, but bounced around the league before ultimately finding stability in San Antonio. Marks spent 3 seasons with the Spurs, expanding his game under head coach Greg Popovich. After being sidelined by an injury in his first year, Marks went on to have 2 successful seasons as a gritty role player and, more importantly, a good teammate.
For me personally, it was all about finding my niche on that team. Look, I knew I was not a starter. I knew I wasn't going to play 30 minutes a night. If I got in the game, fantastic. A lot of these teams, my role was being a good teammate, being ready. Like many guys who are 12, 13, 14 on the bench, they could have gone overseas and played overseas and played more and so forth, but we wanted to make the NBA and the States home.
Upon his retirement in 2011, Marks returned to San Antonio as Director of Basketball Operations for the Spurs, as well as General Manager of their D-League team. In 2013, he became an assistant coach for the Spurs and was a part of the team in 2014 when they defeated the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals.
That year was remarkable. I was very fortunate because I was on the bench with Pop that year, and we had lost the year before to Miami. So, fast forward, here we are a year later, we're playing Miami again in the finals. And to get through that year, to get to that point, was such a grind for everybody, from players, staff, but at the end of the line, we're all focused on that one common goal. We never talked about it, but everybody knew that that's what we were there for.
At the start of the following season, Marks was promoted to Assistant General Manager under GM R.C. Buford. Along with Greg Popovich, Buford is touted as one of the masterminds of San Antonio's historic success and inherent culture. It was with the Spurs where Sean Marks began to fully understand the importance of high character and player-staff communications when running a basketball team.
Something that I really learned in San Antonio, or made San Antonio pretty special, was the communication that went through. Pop took so much time to get to know his players, to get to know his staff. And again, I would hope that the players and staff here will see that in me, and they'll see that in the people that I bring in, that we care about you as a person. It's not just what do you do on the court for us, or how do you help our players. It's everything that makes you up as a person. So I know a lot of the little intricacies there that go on to making that atmosphere. And again, it's not something that just happens overnight, but there's a few little things that can be done quickly and now and immediately to let our players here in Brooklyn know that, look, something different's in the air here.
One more. 1, 2, 3.
Marks has also emphasized the importance of family, noting his organization and staff will make player life outside of basketball a priority.
Family's number one, and over the course of maybe a summer, maybe a season, they'll realize that, look, it's all about your families. You know, I don't want to bring you into the gym just for the sake of bringing you in the gym, because I know you've got priorities at home that, you know, we're about to go on an 8-game road trip and you're going to miss them. So look, get out of here. Go spend time with your families. You need therapy? Well, we'll send the therapists to you at home so you can at least be around your kids. You know, it's little things along the way that I think will help our players, and you know, it's a grind of a season. So anytime they get to be at home with wives or loved ones, it's important.